Hey guys, Tim here, Big Dog Forge. Welcome back. I was watching James at County Line Forge's live stream this morning, and he was doing a hold fast. He was having a little bit of trouble getting it to work, so I thought I'd do a quick little video. Maybe I can help him out and a few other folks to understand sort of the principle of how these things are supposed to work. And this is what I learned many years ago, and it's always worked for me, so hopefully it'll help you guys out as well. All right, let's jump in. I'm going to do a little drawing, a little explanation, and then we're going to make a little demonstrator model out of mild steel, just to make it quick and easy, and I'll see you at the end. Thanks guys, bye now. All right guys, we're going to draw ourselves a hold fast. It's not going to be a perfect drawing, but I'll do the best I can. So we're getting a basic shape here. And you're going to notice this one's a little bit cane shaped at the top. It's got a swooping curve, and that'll work just fine. And then a little bit of a down bend on the hold fast side, and the tip of the hold fast side curves up a little bit. I'll explain that in a minute. All right, so this goes through your pritchel hole on your anvil, and then that'll be the surface of the anvil and the heel. All right, so the pressures that make it work is as pressure is applied upward on the front end by hammering down on this shaft with whatever you're trying to hold in place. Pressure points are created. That pushes the shaft forward in the bottom and backwards at the top of the pritchel hole, creating a wedge. This expands or pushes the hold down arm forward on the block. That's why we have that little up bend in the tip. Now as you drive it down, it creates more and more pressure at those 2 points. Now if you were to grab the front of this hold down and lift up on it, it would actually be putting pressure there and lifting up on the front of the anvil. So the plane between the tip of the hold down, the top of the hold down, and across to the back, you want a triangular shape. The more even that triangular shape from the top to the bottom and front to back, you're going to get optimal pressure. If it goes up in the air higher for a thicker part that you're holding down, you'll simply lose a slight amount of pressure to deflection in the upright, which can be countered simply by hammering down a little harder. Okay guys, let's give this a shot, and we'll see how she works out. Alright guys, we got a piece of 5/8 inch mild steel round. And typically you want to build these things from some sort of spring steel. Coil spring works really well. You want to give it some springiness, so heat treatment is a good thing. It's sort of need to return to its original shape is what gives it the extra hold down power. But we're going to do this out of mild steel, and it will work. Alright, so I've sectioned off about 8 inches of this 20-inch long bar, and we're going to flatten one end out as a hold down foot. And you're going to see me curve that foot a little bit, and I'll hold it up on the anvil just to get an idea of where I want to bend this thing. I may not want to stick with where I sectioned it off there. And then we're going to flatten it back out now that I've decided kind of where I want that. And I'm just going to go straight over the edge of the anvil. Now you could bend this with bending forks or in your vise. This is just a quick demonstration, so I'm just going to do this really quickly. And I'm using my hardy hole there just to bend that over into shape. Now you're going to notice it's got an arch to it down to that foot, and that's going to change a little bit here in just a minute. I'm going to get this in the hole, and we're going to use a cross peen to come across the top of that foot. It's going to raise the end up so it gives a little bit of an up bend, and you really want that so that that foot can slide forward on whatever it is you're holding down. You're going to see me use my hammer as a sort of a measuring device to check this thing for triangular shape, because we want some flexibility there. We want that to spring up and down. Alright, we're going to quench this guy at fairly low heat, but it's just mild steel. Anyway, and we'll get the water wiped off of it. And we're not going to put any beeswax on this guy. We don't want anything to lubricate it. We want it to grab in that pritchel hole. And we're going to lift up on the anvil. You can see the pressure that it creates on that hole. Those are the forces that actually hold it in place. Just like that. No matter what height you're at, you should get that. Okay, some key things to note here. The shaft going through the pritchel hole needs to be exactly the same size from top to bottom. No taper one way or the other. Alright, we have a slide up curve on the foot so it can slide forward and backward as that arm needs to move across the top of the piece you're holding. Now that's a 5-inch tall block and it's 3 inches wide. So we can go from 5 inches down to 3 inches, give another whack there, and it holds just the same. The closer you get to the anvil, the less upright you have sticking out of the pritchel hole, so the less flex there is in it. So sometimes you have to give it a little more whack. Just like that. That's a piece of bandsaw blade. There we go. All right, we got a piece of 1 1/4 inch tubing. All right, now we're going to lift up on this so you can see it flex up a little bit, but it's not popping out of that pritchel hole because of that pressure. There you go. Tap on the back, releases it, and we'll just whack it down on the anvil, lift it up, and it holds good and tight. Now this is just a demonstrator piece. It is made from mild steel very quickly. It will work. It'll have to be readjusted if it's going to be continually used. It should be made out of some sort of spring steel is ideal. Car coil spring works really well for these things, and then heat treated properly. Okay, there you go. This is probably the simplest version of a hold down you can create. Okay guys, there you go. So key components: you want a nice straight shaft all the way down. You want a good angle downward on this guy so you get some bend in the back and you get some flex here. The curved foot actually, as this flexes out, extends and allows that to slide along the material. So many different people have different ideas of how this shape needs to be. Some are large and then tapered down. Some are round like this one. Really, it's a preference. To me, they all work about the same. Someone else may tell you something different. But that's a basic model. And thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I hope this helps some of you out. James, good luck with yours, and hope it helped you out. If you liked what you saw in the video, why don't you go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's always good to share in case somebody needs the information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And that would be good. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it so much. I'll have some more videos coming out really soon. Take care. Be safe. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye now.